Right, we are.
I'm watching in the room and check the sound quality.
We're now broadcasting, so I will boot. So great, we should be up and running. So this is round 3 of the UK versus France match. We're delighted to have John with us commentating this one. So over to you.
Thank you, Julia. Okay, so the UK team have a lot to do. They're trailing at the moment in this Anglo-French match. I'm not quite sure how many we need to win out of these last matches, but it's we've got our backs against the wall, so it's Henry V time, I think, in Agincourt and all that stuff.
Yeah, we need to win 7 out of 9 in this round.
Word.
Very much.
Well, we've got a better chance now that I'm not playing, so that's good. Okay, and who are these players? Is Steve Bibby against who, Julia?
It's Steve Bibby playing black and Alain Babillon playing white.
Ah, Alain Babillon, a stalwart of international chess over the last 15, 20 years. Okay, so let's see what's happening. Okay, Alain splitting with a 4. Steve probably make the bar here rather than hit loose. So quite a symmetrical position. Okay, so choice of anchor or 5 point. So that stack on his 6 point looks like it should be offloaded. So I suspect he'll do that. And he doesn't want to disturb that prime, so shuffling up with 2 looks reasonable. Okay, a nice little switching play there from Steve. I think he'll make the 5 point here. I presume he will. Yes. He could hit 2, but I think the 5 point is a permanent asset. It doesn't leave that many shots. Yeah. Good shot from Alain. And Steve in a bit of trouble in this first game now. Anchor or hit? The hit destroys his prime a bit. But at least it takes away half a roll. But Alain is looking good in this first game. Okay, does he step up here? Does he make it 2 anchors, or does he step up and make an anchor at the edge? Tough decision, really. Yes, he does not envy him this decision. He's got his 2 choices, really. He hasn't really got the timing. He's only 30 pips behind, so he can't play a back game here. I think he's basically, if you're clinging onto some sort of back game in this position, I think you're going to be in trouble, because you need to be with a 1-3 back game. You need to be a lot further behind than this, and I think he's committed to this sort of game now. Alain can move the cube here if he wants to. Steve's game is pretty much in disarray. Oh, the screen's gone. Ah. Okay, Steve doesn't really want to make the 2 point, because that's not the point that's going to help him in any sort of game in the near future. It's too deep.
Rather useful.
Oh, thank you. A double 4 is a great roll. Again, I would have seriously thought about cubing this, because Steve's game is not particularly good. This back game is not going to work, I don't think. Reasonable. So, okay, well, he's got a 3-4 game. He has to make the higher anchor with a 3, and then I don't think it really matters much about the 6. If he's hoping to get a shot soon, he probably should make the 2 points and then hope to go forward somehow. But still, 38 pips behind. This looks like a cube to me. Let's see. Alan can spread these out in the outfield if he wants to, because Steve wouldn't hit. Now, the 6 is important to jump out, I think, and preserve timing. We can't play the 6 inside, he'll run out of time straight away. So it's a good roll from Steve, good play. Now, the problem with Alan here is if he hits, then it's helping Steve's timing. So Steve is now 50. Okay, it's a good dance. He's now 50 behind, which looks to me just about okay now for this back game. He'd rather not have the 2 and 3 points slotted, obviously. But no, he's got good chances here. Okay, I'm hoping to be hit with a 2 to improve or make Steve's timing worse. 4-6 has to come out and hit. And hoping that Alan hits here. He has to force to hit, so that's good for Steve. Good for the UK. Now the 5, he could, okay, this could get complicated. He could play 6-1 and hope to get that recirculated again. Okay, so now we're getting into the intricacies of a back game, and it's all about timing. These are notoriously difficult games to play, and XG punishes you a lot with terms of PR. So you avoid these games at all costs in a PR tournament. Okay, so Steve's on the edge, so I can jump out with a 6. It doesn't really mind too much if he gets hit by Alan. And because Steve's timing is now pretty good, Alan should wait until he's clearing the 3rd point before the 2 anchors. Before thinking of cubing.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there. I'm trying to reach Fetterlein.
Okay. He's on Grid Gammon at the moment.
Yeah, I know, because I'm used to Studio, but we started the match on Grid Gammon, but it suddenly stopped, and I cannot reconnect to Grid.
Okay, leave it with me. I'll have a-
There's connection timed out. So
You can keep talking, I think.
Yeah, a 6-6 is, well, it's pretty much Steve's looking all right here, as long as he gets in soon and can have a juicy shot at the 7 and 9 points. But the danger is he could be on the bar for ages while Alan starts coming in. Okay, Steve, I think, okay, the danger is he can get gammoned here quite easily, but he should have enough shot equity. He's got a nice, strong board, 3-point board. And, okay, I think I'd have taken that for sure. But I don't know, I tend to take those a lot and get gammoned a lot. So I find them too interesting to give up.
Fetterlein? This is Martin. We've been starting a match, but I cannot reconnect to the.
Yeah, attacking on the ace point is not really what he wants to do, but otherwise it's 2 down, leaves a shot anyway. This is a bit committal. Just play this one. Might be right. Yeah, it's anti-positional, but I'm not quite sure what else was any better. So. Okay, so what's the pip count? I can't see the pip count of the guy. Okay.
You know,
It's here, isn't it? That's what it's here. I can't see that. Yeah, the pip count of Steve is just off screen, which is a bit of a shame, but I think he's ahead. Oh, well, that's a nice, very nice roll. Bring those round. We're looking at cubing next roll, I think, which is the best two. I think the key is to trying to make the midpoint easy to clear. So I think that's the play. It's easy to clear from the 13 point. Okay, so he's 20 odd ahead. I think this is a standard double take. 3 landing spots, so it's very nice.
Julia, sorry for the interruption. Please call me on my mobile number.
Yeah, will do.
actually, you can see pretty much all of that on here anyway, can't you? It's only this extra.
Yeah.
Can I take this away or not? Is
Sure.
it useful?
Well, it has the pip count there, but
Okay, have it then. it's fine.
okay, thanks.
It's brilliant. That one while I'm dog watching, so.
Okay, yeah, double take, 2-1. So he wants to try and preserve those 3 landing spots if he can, for as long as possible, so he can come down safely. Meanwhile, Alan will build the board and hopefully wait for the shot. And again, he'll keep his midpoint as long as he can as well. So he'll play, trying to make a 2-point next. That's good for Steve, 2 down. And it should be, dare I say, plain sailing from here. Commentator's curse. Right, prepare to clear the back one. Okay, so Steve wants to clear that 10-point this roll if you can. Don't want any accidents on the way to the bank, as they say. No, that's one way of doing it. Play them 2 in. 6-2, bad roll. So we could have a huge swing here with a 2. This is what people practice all year, rolling things like this. I always missed. Okay. Makes the ace point, and Steve's not home and dry just yet. It's just about okay. Now Alan will keep his board and just run with 1. And hoping for an identical roll from Steve here. And it's come, oh dear me. Well, it doesn't really, it doesn't hit obviously, but taking 1 off won't make any difference if he's hit, because he will be cubed out, whatever. But it's a miss. So a bit of excitement at the end there, but it'll be a single game, and 2-1 for the Brits.
Okay.
UK, sorry, UK. Yeah, so for those that have just joined, if anyone's watching this, the UK have to win 7 out of these 9 matches in round 3 in order to win the tie. Tall order, but it can be done. Okay, 2-1 for Steve. For 3, choice of 2 down or splitting. Yeah, playing both sides of the board looks good to me. And standard play there. Okay, so out with a 6 now. He could make the 9 or he could bring it round. I like making the 9 there, but I don't think there's much in it. 6-1. I don't think Alan will. Could slot. They do say if you've got a 1, there's nothing else you can do in the opening to play 6-5. So it certainly is a contender. Steve's 4s. You look at how your opponent's 4s play often in these things. Steve's 4s, 4-2 is obviously good. 4-6. 4... Yeah, it's a tough choice. Yeah, I'd go for it. I'd slot the 5-point. He's losing the priming battle here. So yeah. I wonder how close that one was. I don't know. But he didn't like it. 6-1 is not the best from Steve. He can't run away. He doesn't really want to play to the 6-point from there. So yeah, that's provides spares to attack next roll. That looks decent to me. Rolling a 2 here is pretty important. And he doesn't do it. Okay, so you come up with a 4 if you had racing chances. So what's the race looking like? Yeah, he's got. I think you've got to come up with a 4. You can't stay back there. You've got a stronger board. It's not that many pointing numbers, but you've got to get out of there. You've got to get your back man going. You've got a chance in the race. Yeah, I think that's right. Well played. Unfortunate for Steve there. I think Alan's got a point here. He could make the 11-point, but if the race is so close, you want to hit. Now the 6. Now when he runs out, of course, he's coming to a double shot. And he's lost a little bit in the race. So this isn't as clear. He's going for it. Yeah, what is the race? It's very close. I don't know about this one. I don't know whether it's out or down. It's pretty close, I think. If it was a single shot, he'd run out, but double shot, too much, I think. Okay, standard 4-6. Good roll. Need a good entry here, otherwise we'll be in a bit of trouble. Well, I think he has to run out because otherwise he'll have 4 attackers on him. Now, what's the race here? So only 8 pips, I think. Yeah, only 8 pips. So, 8 pips. Therefore, I think you've got enough to take this. Man, your cube action is terrible recently, so. Okay, if he's missed, then he'll be an underdog, but not too bad. If he's hit, he can still win. Hit isn't disastrous. He's still got chances.
So can you hear me, John?
Yeah, I can.
So I'm going to be helping you with the commentary for a few minutes while we're sorting things out.
Oh, is there some problem with grid gammon or something?
Yes, it's gone down.
Oh dear.
And it wasn't me.
So yes, we have a slight problem with grid gammon, and the best solution we can come up with is that, John, you can play against Martin.
Because Jules doesn't have a Heroes account, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. Right, so Jules, you take over the commentary. I'll...
Yeah, so before you go, John, did you find a way to see the pip count at the bottom of the board?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
unless you got your own laptop, you can put your own laptop and put this match on probably. So
No, I'll stay with this and see what we can do.
yeah. Maybe Julia could alter it slightly. I don't know, it's Julia's screen she's sharing, so ask Julia if she can perhaps shove it up a bit.
If I
Close the
do
bookmark.
that, does that help?
That's worse.
No, it's the Zoom. It's got a black bar at the bottom of the screen, which is obscuring. That's it. I've
That's
got
better.
it now. Perfect. Yep.
Okay, good.
So this, just fill me in who's playing here. I'm guessing this is Steve Bibby at the bottom.
Steve Bibby at the bottom and Alain Babillon at the top.
Right. Well, I know Alain. He's definitely a top player. Well, I say that because he's beaten me every time we've played. So so the danger here for Black is that he might well lose a gammon. That he's still got quite a few checkers in the outfield to get home. So the basic rule I have for these is that with one checker closed out, you lose 5% gammons, plus an extra 2% for every pip you need to get your checkers home. So he's got 22 pips to get home, so that's 44% gammons, plus 5 for being closed out. Makes it about 50-50, so it should be close. Now I would have played 13-10 there to diversify. Yes, it's done that, brilliant. So now we need 2 crossovers every time as a start. And you're sure he can't hear me at all?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so this is a great roll. And he's doing all the right things in the right order. So always making a crossover, and if you can't land directly on the 6 point, then make sure that you've got lots of builders to land there next time. So now he wants to protect against an 8 by playing 8-7, which he's done. So this is going to be very close. He needs to make 2 crossovers every time. So perfect play by Steve on saving the gammon. And just a little bit, he's relying on the dice not to roll into any 1s or 2s here. Right, so Alain has got his gammon, so now he's leading 5-2. Now he's 4 away from winning. So that's a very strong point. So this move I think is right for Steve, that the plays are always closer to level score, but if you're trailing, then trying to get into a prime against prime game is going to have more gammons in it and give you more chance to catch up. So here he can make the 3 point or the bar point. I think I would go for the 3 point because it's inboard and unstacks the 6. So we're going to disagree on that one. And White definitely shouldn't be splitting here. But Black's got a blitzing formation at the moment, and now he's got a priming formation as well. So now White's rolled a beautiful roll. So he's come up to the edge of the prime and stopped Black's prime in its tracks. And now it's Steve who's got the worst of the priming game. So he needs to be splitting with the 1 for sure, and then decide whether he's going to come up with the 2. So race is about level. Alain correctly, I think, decides not to double. So now this is a choice. He can play quietly and make the 7 point, which is an improvement, or he could hit on the 4 point and try and win. So this I think is right because Black's got the 4 prime. So if White gets sent back with another checker, then it's very costly for him. So I have a suspicion this is an overplay. So 5-1 doesn't do much. He can come out, but I don't know if that achieves anything. I'd be tempted to stay there. This rather leaves the back guy stranded. So 4-1 hit and maximise the builders for the 4 point. So 2 comes in, and now maybe it's a bit too dangerous to come up because there's 3 builders there. So I think I might well go for 8-5 here. I'm certainly not sure this is the wrong play. It might well be that my judgment was wrong and his was right. But certainly, if he can make the 4 points, he's right back in the game. But it is rather like waving the red rag to the bull and asking him to. So the problem with this is that Alain's 4 away, so a doubled gammon will win the match for him. So I'm kind of tempted to give this one up. So we're behind in the race, we're behind in the board strength, we're behind in the priming battle. So white can roll a 3-4-5 combo to make the 4 point. That would win instantly. Or he could roll something 3-2, 4-2, 5-2 and hit twice. Any other numbers? Maybe if he just rolls something like 4x, he just makes the 9 point and settles for 5 prime. So 6-4 is not perfect. So he can make the 5 prime and come out. So that leaves black 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I was thinking he can hit. Maybe he can do the double tiger here. No, he's found a way to make the 5 prime and keep his anchor. So the big play is to break the 8 point and hit twice. And he doesn't even seem to be looking at that. The good news with that play is that it will win if you don't get hit back. The bad news is that black might well be right. There's the play I was talking about. So he doesn't like the look of that. I think the problem with the play is not that it's not a good play, but that black will probably be doubling from the bar then, because if he doesn't hit the shot, he'll just get gammoned. So he's found a very conservative play. So this is certainly a tough play and definitely worth spending the time on. So now black needs a 2 to anchor or a 5 or 6 to jump out. So definitely get out from there now and just leave 1 checker back. So how do we do it? We'd like to come out with a smaller number to leave less shots. So that leaves only double 6, which is going to win for white anyway. But if we go any further, we leave a 6-5. Which is also good for white already. I think I'm going to favour this play for the moment, but I certainly wouldn't do this. I wouldn't leave another block lying around. So if you're coming out, you want to dump one of the checkers on the 8 point behind the anchor. Part of white's strength here is the strong board and the blitzing opportunity. So if you leave lots of blocks lying around, then you can pretty easily get wiped out quickly. So that was my play he's looking at. This is the alternative. And I'm slightly against this play. I still think it's the right idea, but just slightly off on the execution because it gives white a 6-5 instead of a 6-6 to hit. And 6-6 is going to win anyway, and 6-5 is just better. So the problem with this play is that it gives white more attacking options. So if he can't hit outside, he'll be hitting inside and maybe just switching to the blitz and trying to win the gammon that way. And then maybe pick up 1 or 2 of the black blocks in the outfield if black fans once. Okay, so we like this play if white doesn't roll an 11. But it's good having his outfield checkers 2 apart. It'll give him more rolls to make another blocking point next time. So I guess this is why he's liking the play, because he's got 6-4 to make the 9 point and 5-3 to make the 10 point. So here's the blitzing opportunity as a signpost. So this, I think, is quite clear that you point on the 2 point and bring your 2 checkers out. And that way you get the best of both worlds. So you can go for a racing game and win a single, or if black fans, you can hit the other blot and win the gammon. So this is probably going to give him more wins, but the match-winning gammon is going to be very valuable here. So I'm sure he's got to make the 2 points. So that is a brilliant shot for black. That's his very best. So he's come in, saved the shot, and covered the 3 point. So he's having a think about this. There are other options. He could have made the 4 point, but I'm pretty certain his play is right. So now Alain's struggling to come home and bring the position round. So the next play, a perfect shot, makes 4 point. So this looks suspiciously like the position we had in the last game. This time black's 2 pips better off, so he's managed to get another checker in from 8 to 6. And white still hasn't got the closeout. So this looks a bit risky. He's trying to protect against things, but the danger is black rolling the double 1, I think. Anything else white can withstand. So he's leaving black no shots at all. I think 11 to 9 is the play here. That 7 to 5 gives him 1 more builder. This I don't like because he might well be forced to slot the 1 point with some 6s. Yeah, so this is really ugly now. So I think maybe the play is to give up on the gammon here and just switch 5 to 1 twice and make sure that you win the game. It looks so ugly if you play 3 checkers into the 3 point that you're going to be leaving a shot when you don't have a 6 prime anymore. So he's sensibly done the 2 that are forced. So now with the high gammon price, he wants to break the 7 point, get in and start bearing off as soon as he can. He'd rather leave the 2 shots now than maybe 11 next time. So this is clear. That, I think, is a mistake. Always difficult when you've got the game sewn up to give your opponent a chance, but it's a small chance now rather than a big chance later. So 6-1, Steve is in and on his gammon saving route. So this time I think his prospects are better, but White doesn't seem to have so many checkers off when Steve came in. So 1 is 7 to 6, and 3 I would break the midpoint to get the checkers spread out. 8 to 7 is just he's clicked on the wrong one by mistake. So double 2 gains a roll for the moment. So how many has he got off? 6-4 is beautiful number, so 13-7 to make sure we still have a 1, and then 10 to 6. So now the problem with this is if he rolls a 1, he's got to roll a 6 the next turn to get out of trouble. So I do really like 13-7 here, making sure that we have a 1 to make a crossover. And that, I think, costs him a roll. So now Steve should be in good form to save the gammon, which is good. So we'll see some more games. Now this is simple. You just move the back 1 in, less wasted pips. Don't worry about filling the 4 point, especially when you've got a guy on the 8 point. So double 4 will work anyway. So now fill the 4 point, and we're guaranteed to save the gammon next row. Right, so that takes the score to 7-2, 2 away, 7 away. So black should be doubling very aggressively at this score. Part of the reason is that when you give your opponent the cube, he can't use it back against you. And you kill his gammons by doubling, and if you've got to make up this big deficit, then you definitely want to be doing it in 2s and 4s. So this is a bit difficult. But white entered immediately and anchored on the 5 point, so the blitz has failed now, and now black's got to find some way of constructing a game. So he really wants to be splitting and finding the best way to do this. The blot on the 8 point isn't really in any great danger at the moment, but white won't relish the prospect of breaking the anchor to hit. So I kind of like this idea. I would have split 22 and gone to the 2 point. But this has worked out well. So white hits with a 6, doesn't have any good 2s at all. Now Steve's got lots of good returns, but he didn't find it. So now I'm definitely coming in on the 3. Then coming in on the 5 leaves 4 builders on you. So come in on the 3 and bring the 5 down, duplicate 3s, and he probably won't come off the anchor to hit you. So certainly black doesn't mind a hitting contest with his 3 point board and white having made nothing yet. And the 22 point will be not a great anchor, but it'll stop the attack. So if you come in with the 5, I guess you can come up with the 3 and slot both the points that you'd like to anchor on, but it looks very risky to me under all those builders. So now white's got to find some way to repair his position with all his stacks and blots, and 2-1 is near perfect. So of course he doesn't hit, he makes the 5 point. So now he's got both 5 points, there's none left for black. So black is saying, I've got a strong board, let's try a hitting exchange. And that's worked very well for him. So now Steve would like to roll a 6 to cover the 8 point, maybe a couple of 6s. Oh, he's thinking of doubling, I see. So what's the race? He's leading by 25. I think maybe it's a little early. So he needs to escape his back checker and make the 8 point, and for white to stay on the bar. So I'm all in favour of doubling aggressively, but I think this might be a little too early. So white, I think, will hoover this up. So 6-1. You can make the 8 point or the 7 point, and I think the 8 point is better here because it's less blots, and because you've made the 1 point, the 8 point is bearing on the 2 point, which is the open point. So double 3, not as good as it looks. I think he just makes 7. It's kind of a play that works in both variants. So if he has to go for the running game and he gets to back checker out, it's an easier position to bring home. So finally, white's come in after his vacation on the bar, and I would definitely bring that guy up. That you don't. There's a lot of black checkers to attack you there. This looks grotesque. That he's stripped his 8 point and he's left himself open to attack. Good roll for Steve and well played. So 2-1. I think the play here is to come up with the 2 to try and escape and then play 7 to 6. So it doesn't, it's an extra builder for the 4 point. So now 5-4 is not perfect at all. So I kind of think you should come out here and probably come down 13-9. That looks a little wimpy. The 13-9 looked very risky, but you do have a 4 point board against a 2 point board, so the hitting contest certainly isn't too bad for you. But not much wrong with this play. So now he can try and win calmly or try and do something exciting like this. I mean, you can play 16-13 and 3-2. There's good reasons for this. That white's board is certainly far from perfect. So which one to do? The 9 and the 16 looks good because it's leaving 4s. Yeah, so this is the safe play. This was what I initially thought this was best, but then on reflection, I liked his play with the high gammon price and the carnage at white's board at the top. So I think this play, maybe I'd be inclined to if it was a level score or a money game. But I think when you're behind so much that you want to take the risks to get the gammon. Definitely right to take some time here. This is a very tough play.
Unlucky.
So I did like his play, and it's worked. He can cover. So now he was hoping white would stay on the bar for a while, but he's decided he wants to save the gammon. So I think I would just move that guy round 20 and then bring it all the way around to the 5. The other play is to make the 1 point and then slot the 3. So problem with this play is that he's not quite ready to hit yet. So maybe 13 to 8 is the clever play here. He can play safe with 16, 13, 8 to 6, but very difficult to clear the midpoint without a point in the what I call the third quadrant. So it's more of a pay now decision or pay later. So if you make the midpoint and then save the 8-point blot, the question is, how do you clear the midpoint without reading a shot? Yeah, so that's the play I liked, and he seems to have a fondness for it, which is good. So lots of hit and covers, but not much that hits and covers both. Yeah, so now you can see the problem with this is how does black clear the midpoint? And I think the difficult bit is that white's board's going to be stronger in a roll or two's time when he leaves the shot. So very good play by Steve, I think. So 2-1, question is which points to make. So I'd be tempted to save both the blocks 3 to 2 and then maybe go 6 to 4. This is also doable. The problem with this play is that if black gets hit on the 9, then the checker that's hit him is threatening to cover the 4 point. This leaves 2 blocks in board, so now we're not even in good shape to hit next turn. So this, I think, is definitely wrong. So 4-2, just come round, hope you're missed, and if you're hit, there's still a bit of life. So this is a non-hitting number, which is good for Steve. So there's an even number he needed to save the blot. So now he just needs to clear the 8 point. He had a problem in a couple of games ago trying to come home when he's sort of 95% favourite in this kind of position. Good number, clears the 8 point. So now he's just got the 6 point to go. So this is the 5-3, he's got to strip 6. So last time I think he tried a 6-1 to leave a shot, so the other number is 5-1 he could aim for. That double 6 is a much better plan. Now Alain's the one who's struggling to save the gammon. And Steve's down to a very, very tidy 8 checkers, so he could be off in 2 rolls. So this is not right. That you don't want to save the backgammon on roll 1. I can see his idea. He wanted to get a 12 from the 18 point to go to the 6, so the big doubles will get him off quite easily. So he has to make the 2 crossovers like this, which is right. And now he needs double 3 or better to save it, and he hasn't. So now the score is close, 7-6. So 2 away, 3 away. So the trailer, which is Steve as black here, should be doubling very early at this score. So 6-5 is blocked already, so 2 down from the midpoint. Slightly more shots, but The good news is that if you're not hit, you are actually making a good point. So 2-1, come in and hit, unstack the heavy 8-point. 3-1, probably best just to make the 22-point. A bit of a feeble anchor, but we'll cut down on the gammons a lot. So 5-1, good but not perfect, just makes the bar. And 5, nothing better than 13-8. So double 5, the 3 points, this is not a good point to have. I think I probably said that last move. So he can't get his back checkers out. So maybe he makes the 3 point for sure and doesn't make the 2 or the 8. I think the priming game is still doable for him, so I would go this way. Part of the argument for making the 2 point is whether black has any threats, and he doesn't seem to have any threats. So 3-6, you want to run someone out. So I would run out from the 23 and keep an anchor so that we're not going to get blitzed. If you look at the white formation, he hasn't unstacked his 6 point, so he's got much more of a blitzing formation than priming formation. So once you figured out that white's threat is to blitz you, then it's easy to understand you want the anchor. So Steve's spot on with this move, I think. So 2-1, this could be the time to hit and split, because he really wants to try and improve his anchor. So although the 3 point was good when he made it, now's the time to try and get an upgrade. 5-6 comes in and hits, it's very good. Now white's aiming for 4 to get a slightly better anchor. Well, he's got a hit on the 11 point, so despite the fact he wants the anchor, he can't have it just now. So 4-1, come in with the 1 and hit with the 4, or come in with the 4 and then play 8-7. Yeah, so this actually looks good to me, because white wants to anchor and he wants to point on you, and he can't do both. So 1-5 makes the anchor, but then we have to waste another checker on the 6 point. Still can't see anything better than that. I guess you can come out, but making the anchor is still good. So 2-1, beautiful roll, 2 very good choices. I used to have a rule that says most of the time any 5 point beats any 4 point, but this might well be the exception to that rule. So the 5 point goes down in value when your opponent's got an advanced anchor like this. So I think after this double 1, he's happy with his choice. That otherwise he just gets stuck on the 24 point. So he's got to leave some numbers in the outside, 7s or 8s. Can't see much difference. So 5-1, not a good shot. Can he afford to break the anchor? I think I would. I think his forward position is so strong that I think he can do that. So I think 20-15 and 24-23, maybe 6-5. I like 24-23 because we want a return shot on the 8 point if he uses that to point on us. So 2-1, hit outside or point. I'm definitely pointing here, and so is he.
Very lucky.
Same way. 3-5, come in, run the block round. Has black got anything yet? No, I don't think so. 6 would be good. I think he'd be happy to run off the anchor with a 6. Double 1, double 2 to extend the prime. Double 3, double 4. But he's still only got a 2 point board, so I think he's right to wait. So 4-1 is not a good number. So I think you have to play 13-9 and decide whether to save it, and I think I would with 9-8. You definitely don't want to shorten your prime here, so the other play would be 6-1, I guess. So 13-8 gets my vote as the safe play, and hope for something better next time. So the problem with hitting on the 1 point is it doesn't really do much. So the difficulty is it's hitting behind White's potential anchor. So White would love to hit back with a 1, but he'd also be very happy if he rolled a 3 and anchored and stopped the blitz that way. So if you're leaving him two good numbers, that's a good reason why it's probably not right. Yeah, so this is the right idea. I would certainly think he'd like to have a think about there, but the problem is he's got his blot on the 1 point. So if White rolls something terrible, he might well just hit on the 1 point to distract Black from not making a point next time. The idea of this is that White's 6 is good for him anyway. He'd love to jump the prime with a 6, and whether there's a block there or not, he'd be happier if there is, but he'd be pleased to roll a 6 to get out anyway. So Steve's coming round to my way of thinking, hopefully. It looks like he's made the big play. So 5-4 points on the 1 point. So there's the distraction. Now he really needs to come in. 4-5 is in. It's very good. Now maybe we hit on the 1 point. So at the moment, Black's got 2s to anchor, 6s to hit. If we slot the 4 point with 9-4, he's got 1s and 3s to hit and 6s to get out. And if we hit him, then he's got 1s to hit, 3s to anchor and 6s to get out. Maybe it's just 9-4 here on the basis that there's only one blot. So you should be able to recover quite a lot of the time when it's hit. Probably the DMP play, the play that wins the most games, is to escape 21-16. So Mochi had a rule. He said that it's a crime not to jump the prime. So based on that metric alone, then it would be right to come out. Danger here is, of course, that White's got his strong board. So leaving 2 blots and lots of shots means there's a danger you might not play again. Amazingly lucky. 3, that looks like a very good roll and a good play by Alan. So what he's trying to do is exploit the fact Black was on the bar to escape his back checker. So 3-6 comes in and he can hit or anchor in the outfield. So he's making very aggressive plays. I would certainly have thought about anchoring in the outfield. So double 1, we definitely want to switch to gain some time. Then probably anchor on the 21 point to take away Black's jokers of double 3 and double 4. And then probably 10-9 so that we... Yeah, this is the same idea, but a little more aggressive. So I would go 10-9, and our main plan is just to escape the back checkers and win the race here. So now I guess he's got a hit on the 3 point. He can't allow Black to get 2 anchors, otherwise he's got a very good game. So it has to point on him, and kind of obvious. So Steve's come in with 1, so now he's threatening to come in with the other one. So 6-5 does very neatly escape both black checkers. So cross your fingers, hold your breath, hope that double 4 doesn't come up. So come in, hit, and any others to hit. Yeah, there's another one sitting down there. So now maybe Steve should be thinking of doubling straight away, depending on what White rolls. Right, so now he's definitely too good to double. He's going for the undoubled gammon. 6-4 doesn't seem to hit anything, so I would make another point. Six-4 comes in, so now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 to hit on this side of the board, and a few others on the other side. So this looks a good play, keeping 2 on the bar, stops White getting back in the game instantly. And maybe we just bring that guy round. That leaves us 5s and 2s to hit outside next time. That's quite diversified. I guess you can play more aggressively hitting on the 4 point, but I think that's too risky against the 5 point board. That could turn around very quickly. So maybe he's thinking of coming out from the back 21-15, but that seems to duplicate his 5s. So he's got a 5 to hit both checkers. So this way he still has 5s and 2s to hit. So white needs a 4 and doesn't get one. So now Steve should still be playing on. Still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3 is perfect points. So maybe he's looking at hitting twice. But I think you against the 5 point board, this is horrible. Now, so you don't want white anchoring on the 4 point. Push him back to the 1 and 2 points, and then you can figure out whether you're winning the gammon or not. So beautifully diversified. 3, 5. We can hit outside with the 5, and then decide what to do with the 3. So I think maybe I would hit on the 2 points, that was putting a 4th checker on the bar. There's backgammons win the match here, stopping him anchoring. The contest would be, could we come in on his 5 point board with our 1 checker before he comes in with 3? So 2, 1 doesn't do anything. Maybe you just make the 7 points. So this kind of is trying to come home safely, but making the 7 is good. It's bearing on the ace point, so we might make that next time. And it's easier to clear than the 8 point. And Steve's left himself less shots to hit. So now white's only got 1 on the bar. Now I think there's maybe a time for caution. So we can make the 9 point, which is useless, or we could come in 9-3 at the cost of a few shots. I'd be tempted with 9-3 because now we've got 4 white checkers back. It's going to be a long time before we lose the game. So Steve's definitely right to play on here for his undoubled gammon, that even if white ends up and makes his 1-2 back game, then I think black can double and white will have to pass anyway. So this is not what Steve should have been doing, because he's basically left 1 guy stranded at the back. But having said that, it's not so easy for white with only 1 checker to move. So he can break the 24 point anchor, and maybe that's right. Certainly coming down to the 9 just seems to leave some shots with no winning plan at all. So perhaps 24-18 is necessary. So we leave 1s and 2s to hit. This 1-2 game is hopeless with no timing. So I guess what Alan's thinking is he's going to give up 1 anchor sometime, and whether he should do it this roll or later. So I would go this way. I think this gives you better chances of containing the black checker. So it's coming out, although it's a double shot out there, they're both strip points. So this might well be right by Steve. He's decided that a point in the bag is better than 2 in the bush. So this is a very big pass for white. I don't know why he's taking any time on this, probably because it's his money and not mine. Okay, so 7-7, 2 away, 2 away. Usually right to double at the first opportunity here. So the computer has said, I think that you should double. So 5-4, hit with the 4, bring the 5 down, only play. 3-6, come out, duplicate the 4s, except for 4-2 that hits and covers. So double 3, that puts white back in the game, so he's no longer, he's got something on his side of the board. So probably 6-3 twice, 13-10. I have seen the computer do this, so this I think is actually a good play probably. So 3-2, again, good play that he couldn't do anything useful, so he just switched to the blitz. So now if white rolls a 2, he's winning, and if he doesn't, he might just get wiped out. 5-2 hits, so Steve is just in overdrive here, and Alain needed that 2 to stay alive. So 4-2 is the time to get the back checkers moving. So 24-22 here. That's, you need an extra shot of the outfield, and you need another potential anchor to recover from. So 5-4, he finds a hit and needs another builder for fun. So 9-5 is good. Double 5 gets him back in the game. So come in, make the 5 point, and probably make the 1 point. Not that you want to do a blitz, but difficult for black to save his 5 blocks when he's got to use 1 dice to come in.
Very lucky.
5-2, he's in with 2 and looking for 5. So probably 13-8 looks clever, duplicating 4s. 3-2 points on the 3 point. Forward progress at no risk. 4-1, he's in and saves the block 9-8. And now white's got to take his best shot, and that's not particularly impressive. So he can run the back checker out or play 13-5. So if we run out, we give black a 6, which isn't very good for him at the moment. So this looks right. We can have a look at the other one, 23-15. No, it's not worth looking at. 4-3 would be good to play 23-16, but not legal. So what can we do with this? Is there anything remotely useful? Yeah, so this isn't too bad, because now most of white's hits involve breaking the anchor, and then the blitz might come back to life. 6-2, so his back checker is trapped, so I think he's going to resort to his 13-5 fallback option again. (6-4), this is a great roll. Just what to do with it. I think I would make the 17 point. This is probably not right when you doubled, because the gammons have no value. So 3-1, yes, need a bit of air. So now white's in, and probably 5-3. So he'd rather like a shot at the black blocks if they can't save each other. Right, so double 5, brilliant shot, probably his best. So now he brings everyone round, and probably 13-8, and if he's not hit now, then he might well just cruise home. So 17 shots that way, all the 1s and all the 8s, and nothing better, I don't think. So double 3 is misses and has to give up the outfield. So 13-10, 13-4 looks the play I would make. It's one great shot. Would he make the 7 point? Not clear to me. Maybe just 13-6. So you only have 1 point to clear. So he's left himself 2 points, which are easier to clear, compared to 1 point, which is difficult to clear. Now he's back to the mess he had the other way. So 4-3, white's still got a piece to move. 5-3, bad shot. So now white might well get a shot. So now he wants an 8 prior to his hit. 5-2, definitely don't break the 20 point. Don't give black an opportunity to get home with tempo. So 3-1, he's still stalling. Double 2. I think we have to just run 1 checker out and take our chances, but we need to be able to win the game when we hit. So if he doesn't break the anchor, then he has to give up making the 5 point for a long time. So I'm not 100% clear, but I'd be tempted just to run 1 guy here. But there's 2 things you have to do as white. You have to hit, and then you have to win. And keeping the 20 point is going to increase your chance of hitting, but not necessarily your chance of winning, since black's going to have this 5. So what does this look like? We get a shot on 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 5-1, 5-2, 5-3. Double 4 looks like gin. So that looks like the last nail in the coffin. So this looks as though white's down to probably under 1%, and now he's down to 0. So now you can see the position Steve envisaged when he doubled on roll 1. He obviously had a good feeling that this was what he was aiming for and did it very well. Okay, so that's the end of the entertainment for the moment. I'm going to take a short break.
Yeah, thank you very much, Julian. And that's the second win for the UK in this round, which leaves the overall score at 9-11. So we'll now hop off this match and catch up with the other results.
Hi, Julia.
Hey,
Chris Bray won 9-5.
so sorry, say it again.
Chris Bray won 9-5.
9.
Indeed.
Okay.
And Tim won, but I don't know what the score was, 9 something or the other.
Okay.